a few years because
Yes.
of the COVID pandemic. But I so vividly remember talking to you about the doll show and its importance, especially its importance to young African American children. Talk to me about how it feels to be back in person again in 2022.
And we are so excited, Stephen. We are excited. And I have so many people who are buzzing on Facebook about, oh, we can't wait. We can't wait. It's going to be a family reunion. That's how I feel. Like we're coming back together and we're connecting because we haven't seen each other in a couple of years. And it's going to be a Dow family reunion.
Yeah, yeah. So for those who are unfamiliar, tell me what the doll show is and how you came up with the idea for it.
Well, I wanted to inspire women and girls to love the skin they're in. And that's where it came from in terms of bringing out the best in them. And I decided I started with the book, but then I included the dolls, and it was a way to bring them in a sneaky way, in a sense, add some fun to it. Mm-hmm. So we celebrate history, culture, self-love, and diversity with the promotion of Black dolls. And it's been a wonderful journey in the process of meeting some fabulous individuals who hand make dolls and manufacture Black dolls.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of research, of course, on the role that dolls play in forming self-image and creating this sense of self-love. But it's worth going over that this is still an issue.
Yes.
In the 2020s, I mean, there were studies in the 50s and 60s about this, and you've seen the doll industry change a bit over that time, but you still don't have enough, I guess, representation. Yeah. Talk about how important this is, that this is not just about toys. This is about who we are.
Yeah, it's about who we are, and it's not just doll play. It's about self-esteem building. It's loving the skin you're in. That's why I go with that motto. It increases motor skills. I mean, it's a lot that goes on, but it's nothing like the reflection of yourself and what it does for you. And you matter. It basically stating to children and those adult collectors that you matter.
Yeah. So talk about the book that you wrote. Remind our viewers about this very important issue and how you highlight it in the text.
Well, Imani Has the Most Exciting Dream was the launch of my business. Mm-hmm. But however, my fifth book is She Looks Like Me. And it's an inspirational book for girls and doll collectors. But it's all about reminding them that they are beautiful with their hair, their thick lips and almond eyes. I actually have a poem in the book that the title is My Black Doll Reminds Me. And I go over those initial things that remind the reader that they matter. And no matter how they wear their hair, kinky, locks, braids, twists, you still matter.
So let's talk about the doll show coming back live, what people will experience if they get there. It's not just the dolls.
Exactly. So Saturday, November the 12th from 11 to 6 p.m. at Marygrove Conservancy. We have moved over there, and they can experience the Doll Legacy Award returning, some characters, of course, of dolls, head wrap workshops, arts and crafts all day, and authors, and a variety of dolls. And the representation of those dolls that you will see that will be on sale are right here next to me. We'll have Donald Calloway, we have Brains and Beauty dolls. So a lot of returning doll makers and manufacturers, mm-hmm. and some new faces that you will see at the Detroit Doll Show on Saturday, November the 12th.
Yeah. So as I was saying before, we've had this issue for a really long time, but at the same time, things do look a little different. I mean, you have Disney movies where there are people of color, girls of color as the lead. Yes. You have dolls that are being made off of those movies. Talk about what you hear, I guess, from young Black girls now about the world that's around them and how it might be really different from what I might remember, or even even older people.
Right. So yeah, case in point, even what I remember, but the young people, they now have a lot more variety, although you won't see them as much in stores. Case in point, the Black Panther movie that's coming out. Well, Fresh Dolls, which is created by Dr. Williams, and she created a line of these new Wakanda dolls, but it's an African-American woman who created the Pretty Perfect line. It was the first line that was like in Targets and Walmart. Well, she has created a line of dolls that she connected with the Wakanda production crew and made it happen in Disney. So it's a wonderful thing that the new generation do have more of a variety of Black dolls that they will see in the store. Even Mattel has brought on a new line of inspirational dolls, the Rosa Parks doll, Madam C.J. Walker doll, Katherine Johnson doll. So it's truly a new journey of seeing more dolls that reflect who we are and what we look like and what we provide to the world and have provided to the world as African-American people.
Yeah, and some of that pressure that's on the doll makers comes from efforts like yours to highlight that gap, to highlight the fact that that there isn't equal representation, even as we get closer to it. Things are still uneven. Yeah,
exactly, because you may see, case in point, the Tina Turner doll. I don't know if you knew that there was a Tina Turner doll. Well, Tina Turner was out there a hot second, literally, because I tried to get her and I missed out on purchasing her. Will they bring her back? I don't know, but that's the point. They'll only produce so many of those dolls and then you don't see them anymore. So you still kind of experiencing the same thing where you're in the stores kind of looking for some. You will, see the white dolls still majority in the stores than you do dolls of color. And when you see the dolls of color, it's only a few, and typically they go pretty fast. Yeah. I mean, this is what we're still dealing with, but at the doll show, you have the opportunity to actually meet the manufacturers, to meet the doll makers, and you get a little bit more history of them. And it's a little different when you meet the person who creates the Black dolls, because they all have the same mission in mind. It's all about inspiring the kids to love the skin they're in.